Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the Comic John YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, John Hassinger, for this off-the-couch reaction to The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, The Apostate. I love the opening. Hey guys, so like a complete nerf herder, I forgot to mention my favorite part of the episode. It was when they were going hyperspeed and Grogu saw the whales, setting up what I believe the big arc of this whole interconnected storytelling that Favreau is doing, where we last saw Ezra Miller, where we last saw Grand Admiral Thrawn, who we know Ahsoka's looking for. Yeah, this is a day-old edit add-in. It's gonna screw up everything. Hope you kind of inducting a new Mandalorian into the tribe with the armorer and Jon Favreau's Paz Vizsla. Out of nowhere, a giant sea creature comes flying out of the water that they were in. So I thought this was a flashback. I thought maybe this was Din when he got inducted. And this giant monster, I don't know if it's a mythosaur, I can't really remember from the holiday special. Something tells me no. But anyway, they're all battling this thing. They're flying up in the air, they're shooting it, they're putting bombs on its back. It's like about to eat a kid. He's about to eat that kid that just got a new helmet. And, Paz Vizsla's shooting. And the next thing you hear is the Mando theme music, and he comes flying in on that, Anakin Skywalker ship to save the day. So it was not a flashback, and there was two surprises in that opener there, with that monster coming out of the ocean, coming out of the water, and Mando coming in to save the day. So Mando and the armorer spoke about all of Mandalore being like crystallized by fusion rays, and it was poisonous. But Mando was like, yeah, but somebody brought me back like a piece of it, and it's not poisonous. Like that, this means it's not poisonous. And he's like, I gotta go there. I have to go. I gotta bathe in the waters beneath the mines to be absolved of his transgressions for removing his helmet. It's like his whole thing, the whole mission of this movie, or this season. But he's also like, well, maybe Mandalore isn't like cursed and like poison, basically, uninhabitable. He stops on the way to meet up with Greef Karga in Navarro, and Navarro's got like a bunch of C-3PO droids or similar C-3PO adjacent droids, non-binary C-3PO droids, and Navarro's booming. It's like taking off. There's Salacious Crumbs in the tree. There's like an all-white C-3PO. There's an all-bronze female C-3PO. There's an all-gold C-3PO, but with a weird face. But they all sound like Anthony Daniels. Greef's like telling him how like we're in trade, we're in construction, and we're gonna be independent. Like we don't even need to work with the Republic, and like you could settle down, and you could over there by like the hot springs. He's like you and the little guy, and Mando's like, Grogu. And Greef's like, what? He's like, his name's Grogu. And Greef's like, if you say so. That was a funny line, because it's always like, well, it's really Baby Yoda, but we're trying with Grogu. So then they mentioned Gorian Shard, some pirate king. These pirates out there, and they're trying to go into a school. This is where the brass female C-3PO was like, don't come in. They're like, this used to be a bar. I want to have a beer here. And Greef's like, just come to my office. We'll have a beer there. And they're like, no, I want a beer here. Have you gone soft? He goes, try me. And before he can get his gun up, Greef shoots his gun out of his hand. And then the other thugs go to pull their pistols, and Mando takes all four of them out. So then Mando's got the idea about resurrecting IG-11, because they've got his statue, but like the torso and head are the same robot. They originally try to rewire him, and they do, and they wake him up, and he sits up, and he recognizes Grogu, and he starts attacking him. So he's like got his old programming. Luckily, the weird-faced gold C-3PO pushes a bust of Greef Karga onto the head of IG-11 and stops it from attacking. Looked a little weird, looked a little early 90s or mid 80s Sam Raimi horror for a second there. Greek Argus says take it to the Enzalians, which is Babu Freak's species. That's the name of his species, and Babu Freak and all his little guys, they're so fun. And Babu's like, I can't fix this. The memory circuit's broken, and you can't find a memory circuit. Grogu wanting to pick up Babu Freak was probably, I laughed out loud at that moment. It just reminded me of my kids, my oldest daughter always trying to pick up our 2-year-old. If you're gonna put Babu Freak in Mandalorian, Grogu has to try to hold one of them because they're one of the few things smaller than him. So Mando's gonna go try to find a memory circuit. They're flying through space. He's like explaining to Grogu all the like parts on the ship and how to drive it. And then all of a sudden one part lights up red, and he's like, and that is how you find your enemies or whatever. And the pirates are back. They lead him. He takes all of them out. There's like 6 of them, and he takes them all out except for the final one, the main one that couldn't agree with Greef on where to have a beer. And he leads Mando right to this Gorian shard, Pirate King swamp. He looks like Swamp Thing. The spaceship special effects looked awesome. Swamp Thing is like, or what's his name? Gorian Shard says to Mando, give me your ship and we won't kill you. And Mando says something like, never trust a pirate. And he hits the exhaust, or it wasn't light speed, but it was, one step before light speed. And he just top guns right over their ship and gets the hell out of there. They're flying into this planet that looks like Earth, Kalevala. It's a planet in the Mandalorian system. You go to this castle. Katan is like lounging on this throne, and he's like, I'm here to join you and help you retake Mandalore. She's like, yeah, do you see the Darksaber? I don't have it, so my forces melted away and they all became mercenaries. And she's pissed. She's like, go home. There's nothing left. Or wait, do you have the saber? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, then you lead them. They'll do whatever you say. Wave that thing around. He's like, look, I gotta go to the waters beneath the mines and bathe and atone for my transgressions. And she's like, you're an idiot. She's like, it's all hocus pocus. It's superstition. Those waters aren't magic. You're a fool. But if you want to go, here's where they are. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go, and I'll let you know if it's poison or not. And she's like, goodbye, Din Djarin. Very eerily. But I don't know, I love this show. It's just so much fun. It just feels like the toys were left over there in the corner of the room, and I'm gonna go pick them up and start playing with them. That's what Favreau and Filoni are doing, and they're just nailing it. So is Pedro Pascal, who's nailing it on so many levels right now. Internet daddy. Let me know what you guys think of episode 1. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week. I gotta go.